All right, so let's start with today's topic. Today we'll be looking at what e-invoicing is, e-invoicing as per GST and standards, some facts and figures related to e-invoicing, and how would Complio make the process of e-invoicing easier. So about our company, we have around 30 years of experience in providing enterprise software solution with 3,000 clients from all sectors with an average span of 12.7 years of customer loyalty. So as you can see, we have worldwide presence. We are there in India, UK, US, Germany, and France. In India, we have offices in Mumbai and Pune, from where we cater to Asia Pacific region. So before we move on to today's topic, let's have a quick poll. So what ERP do you use? Option A is SAP. Option B is Oracle. Option C is Microsoft Dynamics. And option D is others. I request everyone to cast their vote. I can see still people are yet to vote. I request everyone to cast their vote. All right, so moving on to the next question. So have you finalized on e-invoicing solution? Option A is yes. Option B is no. So I'll repeat the question. How many of you finalized on e-invoicing solution? Option A is yes. Option B is no. Okay. So coming to today's topic, let's see what e-invoicing is. So, well, it might seem to be relatively a new concept for the Indian taxpayers, but then it has been successfully adopted across 70 different countries across the globe. And also by 2025, it's estimated that it would be a predominant mode of global exchange of commercial documents like credit note, debit note, invoices, remittances, etc. So e-invoicing, it is an electronic billing system, a system to generate electronic document containing transaction information between buyer and a seller. It became a part of universal business language, which was designed to allow businesses to exchange information along the supply chain using a common format. So common format would make the data readily available and would again eventually make the business process more easier. So this was e-invoicing as a global concept. Let's see how it make any difference in India. So in July 2017, it was estimated that GST network would hit somewhere around 3.2 billion invoices a month. If we calculate it, it would amount to somewhere around approximately 42 billion invoices a year. So keeping this in mind, 42 billion invoices a year, just imagine the kind of burden it would create on the tax authorities to check and reconcile 42 billion invoices. They will also have to ensure the payments of the taxes and the legal claims on the tax credit. So yes, now it does call for a need for a system uh, which would reduce the burden on the tax authorities and at the same time would make things easier for the taxpayers. So if we look at it in a nutshell, it is actually a win-win situation for both taxpayers and tax administrators. If we look at it from taxpayers' point of view, it will help them in two ways. One would be it would eliminate the transcription and other human errors while GST reporting process. The other would be the smart portals of the GST administration, which would reduce the compliance burden on the GST reporting process, one by eliminating the redundancy, second would be the hassle-free input credit availability, and third would be the enabling of pre-filled forms for the convenience of the taxpayers. Also, we are quite aware of how audit process in the companies goes. It is quite tedious. There's a lot of documentation that goes on. So in case of intense tax audits, e-invoicing would minimize the documentation process thanks to the real-time availability of data now. If you look at it from the tax administration point of view, it would give great flexibility and visibility into the transactions related to goods and services in real time at national and as well as the regional level. And second would be that real-time data analytics would enable the detection and deterrence of the tax. So basically, it would help tax administrators to minimize the tax frauds. Moving on, let's understand e-invoicing as per the GSTN standards. So all companies above 100 crores of turnover are supposed to register their invoices on government portal, that is invoice registration portal, IRP, before sending it to the customers. The customers are supposed to be uploading the invoice in a standard mandatory format. Once uploaded, the portal will generate a unique invoice reference number, IRN against it. The IRN so generated will be based on computation of hash of GST IN mentioned in the document, the year, and the invoice number. So document could be credit note, debit note, supplier's invoice. It could be anything of this. So now this particular invoice reference number so generated now will be used to transfer all the invoice information to the GST portal and as well as the e-way bill portal. And as I mentioned earlier, it will be applicable only to those whose turnover is above the determined limit of 100 crores annually. And as per 39 GST, latest 39 GST Council meeting, the process of registering invoice on the portal will be mandatory from 1st of October. And any invoices issued after 1st of October will be considered invalid. Now, before we move on, let's have a look at some facts and figures. So the list of documents while reporting on the IRP portal would be supplier's invoice, credit note, and debit note. So e-invoicing system is merged with GST system. The invoices will get auto-populated on the GST portal once they are signed and verified by the invoice registration system. So basically, the objective is to auto-populate the taxpayer's invoice and reduce the chances of errors while reconciliation. So the information entered into the registration portal IRP will expire after 24 hours of entry. The registered and verified invoices will get automatically uploaded to the GST portal and it will be there for the whole financial year. Yes, it is possible to make changes in the e-invoices since only the details are being uploaded. Also, there is no way to partially cancel the invoice. The invoice once created can only be fully cancelled. The cancelled invoice should further be reported to the IRP within 24 hours of cancellation and it should be done manually. So now let us have a look at the architecture using Complio. So on the left, you have ERP system. So once the invoice is created, it will be captured by Complio in real time. It will be converted to the JSON format as per the government guidelines, will be uploaded to the IRP portal using API. The portal will digitally sign it, generate a QR code and an IRN hash against it. A JSON will be received and now it can be converted into a readable format, and as per the business process, you can digitally sign it before sending it to the customers, and a signed copy of the same could be stored in shared folders which could be accessed by all stakeholders, or it can be again pushed back into the data can be pushed back into the ERP. So before we move on to the product demo, let's have a quick poll. So are you looking for an approval workflow solution before e-invoicing? Option A is yes, option B is no. So workflow could be anything. It could be invoices going through workflows, or it could be purchase order going through workflows before sending it to the suppliers. It could be anything. Or you could consider any other document for that. All right. Thank you for the response. Let's move on to the next question. So, do you need a customized QR code in your invoices? Option A is yes. Option B is no. So basically, QR code would be different than the QR code that would be generated by the IRB portal. This could be for your own business processes. Okay, I request everyone to cast their vote. Okay, thank you for the response. Let's move on to the product demo. So here we'll be looking at e-invoicing using SAP ERP. So for invoices, we'll be using transaction code VF03. We'll be using invoice number 9000545. Click on issue output, and I'll simply print it. Now, as soon as I'll print it, it will be the spool of the same would be captured by Complete Supervisor. This is the Complete Supervisor. As you can see, the file has been captured and it's being processed. In the process, it will be converted into JSON format as per the government guidelines and uploaded to the portal. The portal will reassign it and give us a JSON back with an IRN hash. So as you can see, we have received the JSON. You can see the invoice number 9000545 and the IRN hash generated against it. At the bottom of the email, you can also see different repository links. I'll open one of the links. At the top, you can see all signatures are signed and validated. You can see the QR code, which was generated from the government portal, the IRN hash, which was generated against the invoice number. At the bottom of the page, you can see an ink signature, a QR code, and a digital signature. Now I'll take you to the console of Compleo. So this is the dashboard which will be provided by Compleo to you. On the left, you can see all the invoices which are uploaded to the IRP portal, the status, the date at which they are uploaded, the time, the invoice reference number which was generated against it. You can cancel it. You can export the data into the Excel. Also, if you want us to push back the details of the invoicing back into the ERP, we can do that. So for this, we'll be using E-code SE11. So basically, when you push back the data into ERP, it would help in internal compliance, and it would be of great help in case of internal audits. So basically, you can see all the invoices which are there. You can see here all the invoices which are uploaded to the portal, and the invoice reference number, invoice IRN hash which was uploaded against it. So this was the product demo. Let's move on to the benefits of the product. So this is our USP, that we don't do any programming in ERP. The product stays external to the system, and therefore it's quick for implementation. We have an integrated digital signature and e-waybill solution. Also, we are not any specific to any ERP. We are an ERP independent solution. We can work and integrate with different ERPs. We support different input formats for invoicing. It could be XML, PDF, CSV, etc. Also, it's an end-to-end automated process with minimum human intervention and less chances of error. So these are the other solutions that we offer. It's digital signature automation. So if you are applying any digital signature on your invoices, or it could be purchase order, we automate the end to end. We give you an end to end automated solution. Workflow automation using e-signatures, business process automation. So we could help you automate processes like PO to SO or order to cash are a few processes. Report customization. So any reports you want to customize, maybe it be a inventory report or financial reports where you want to add calculations to it. You want to break down reports into smaller parts. You want to add more tables to it, calculations to it, pie charts, graphs, any type of calculations. Or maybe if you want to format the reports. So if you see, for example, manufacturing people have different invoice format for different people. So we can make those format available, and all this thing can be done without any programming efforts in ERP. So all in all, we are a one-stop solution for all your document management needs. So before we move on, let's have a quick poll. So do you need an e-waybill solution? Option A is yes, option B is no. So there are still people who have not yet casted their vote. I request you to cast your vote. Thank you for your response. Let's move to the next question. So currently, are you digitally signing your invoices? Option A is yes, option B is no. I request people to cast their vote. There are still people who have not yet. Thank you for your response. So, so now I'll just walk you through some of our customers with different sectors and applications. So from manufacturing, we have Volkswagen, Volvo, Ford, Autoliv, Bridgestone, YKK, Tata Chemicals, Voltas, Moog, Belmont. From banking, we have BNP Paribas, Allianz, Citibank, HSBC, AXA. From pharma, we have Bricola, Pfizer, Himalaya. And from other sectors, we have Dainik Bhaskar and Time Publishing Group. So that is it from my side. If you have any questions on the e-invoicing, you can put it down in the comment section and we'll address them. The floor is open for the questions.
Thank you so much, Srinivas. There's a few questions that I'll quickly answer here. So the first question we have here is it necessary to have all the details which are required for e-invoicing on the ERP invoice? So usually that should have all the details. Just in case the details are not available, we could just try to fetch it from the database so that you don't really have to go and change your form again. Another question we have here is, as per the company policy, okay, this is regarding the SAP connector here. Okay, so regarding the SAP connector, sir, I'll just it's a certified connector, and all the details we can provide to you. If there are any specific queries at organization level, we can connect separately and we can help you to address them. Okay, we have another question here. Have you started implementation on JD ERP? So, sir, we have a few POCs going on. Due to this lockdown, the implementations were stalled since a lot of companies were not really working. So, we have a few POCs already going on, and it's almost close to finalization. With SAP and Dynamics, we have already finalized. With JDE on IBM, we are already in process, and probably by end of the month, it should already be finalized. The next question we have here is, what are the different ways to integrate or pass on the data to Complio for e-invoicing? So here, the different options could be, as one of the options is, as Srinivas showed, for SAP users using the certified connector, or you could simply provide the data to us in the form of the details through an API connector. Or if either of them is not possible, we could simply have the PDF in a folder or an XML file or a CSV file in a folder, and we can capture the details from there and do the e-invoicing process for you. The next question we have is there a facility of bulk uploading in the IRP? Okay, so far the IRP does not provide any feature for uploading in bulk. So what we can do here is you can process the documents in bulk from your side, and Complio will process it one by one and provide the details to you in return. So for the user end, it will be a bulk processing, and Complio will do the one by one processing with the IRP. Next is, can an e-invoice be cancelled from your system, and how much time do we have to do it? Okay, this was something that was taken up during the presentation as well. So yes, we can cancel the e-invoice from our system. The dashboard we provide has a cancellation option, and within the stipulated time, so which is 24 hours right now, the invoice can be cancelled. If the timelines change accordingly in future, the product will have the changes implemented. Another question we have here is, do I need to generate an e-way bill after the generation of IRN? Okay, so yes, the e-way bill process is still going to be continued as far as the guidelines from GST are provided so far. So in that case, right now what is provided is there is a section of providing details for e-way bill in the IRP schema. If you provide the details, you will get a e-way bill number in return. If not, you may continue to do it the way you are doing right now. Can we have multiple output formats for invoices? That is, for example, if there are different customers demanding same or different business units, yes, definitely we can do the same. So once we get the JSON back from the portal, we could customize it totally based on the customer or the business unit is it for, provided we have the right identifier available for us. Another question we have here is, printing of invoice is possible from your portal? Yes, sir. Once the document is processed and the JSON is back, we'll convert it into a printable format, and we can automate the printing process for you. So at the respective locations where it is required, we can route the print there. Mr. Mehul wants to know, can we connect later during the day? Yes, sir, surely I'll connect with you today. Thank you for the contact details you have provided. The next question we have here is, can we have multiple output formats for different customers? Yes, that is answered. Another question is it necessary to process documents in real time, or we can schedule the task? Okay, so it is definitely possible to schedule the task as long as we meet the conditions that the document should not be older than 24 hours. We can schedule the task and process it. If the invoice is older than the guidelines provided by the GST Council, the invoice will not be registered in that case. Next question is, if an invoice fails to register on the IRP, will I have to process the document again manually, or is there an option to reprocess the same document? Okay, we can give an option to process the document manually. Then in that case, you'll have to make sure that the details you update in our system, you have to give us a medium to update it back to your system. Or the recommended process, you can just reprocess the same document with the required changes from your own ERP system. The next question is the Complio console device friendly? Can I monitor from my phone? Yes, you can definitely monitor it from your phone. It's a web-based console that we provide. If you publish the link for the same and provide the login details to the right users, they can definitely keep a watch from their phone. The last question we have so far is the QR code that you showed during the demo. Will the information will be predefined, or can we customize it? Okay, so the QR code we showed during the demo, the one which was on the top, is for the details that come up from the IRP. So since it's a clear guideline to have it as it is, that will be displayed with the details coming back from the IRP. If any other process which is internal or based on customer demand requires you to have another QR code which is of a customized format, we can provide the same by taking the data from the document and putting it on the recommended place as another QR code. Also, if multiple customers demand multiple type of QR codes, we can do the same. As I said, we can have multiple formats, customer or business unit wise. Another question we have got here is, can you help to store IRN number in our ERP? Sure, sir. As long as we get an access to store back the data using an API into your ERP database tables, we can help you do the same. That should be definitely possible. We can help you push back the IRN and the QR code details, acknowledgement number, whatever the required details. We can help you push the same into your ERP. So these are the questions so far. We request all the attendees to just put in the questions if they have any in the chat box. We'll be more than happy to answer the same. So so far all the questions have been answered. If there are any other questions, will still be there available online. You can just let your question be there in the chat box. Srinivas, back to you. You can please proceed.
So thank you, Tejas. So any more questions you have, you can connect to me on the given contact details. If you want to have any more details on the products that we discussed earlier, you saw the videos or the other things that we offer, you can simply connect to us in the contact details. And thank you everyone for attending today's webinar. We'll be connecting soon with the other webinars.
Thank you so much, Srinivas. We are still there online for some time, so for any questions, you can just pop in. Mr. Anil Swain, if you can type your question in the chat box, or do you? Let me see. Just hold on. I'll just unmute you. Mr. Anil, I've unmuted you. You may please ask your question. Hello, Mr. Anil.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Actually, we need a live demo on this actually, because this is only the just we have shown us the only PDF part, but
right.
Total from invoice to invoice and then INR generation, everything just we need to see live.
Sure, sir. Absolutely. What I'll do is I am gonna have your details, so I'll just contact you post the session, and we can set up a demo whenever you're available. We'll be more than happy for that.
And another question is that invoice number wise, the IRN number and UA bill number, all things can we get it in one application?
Sure. So as we showed, it is already there on the dashboard. The dashboard has a facility to generate Excel reports from there itself. So the dashboard that we provide, it has all the details, and you can extract a report from there, which will have invoice number, the last status, if whether it's cancelled or approved, the IRN, and all the other details received from the IRP. All that will be available. Yes.
And another question is the reprint facility also be available in the system.
So could you elaborate more on the reprint facility?
Okay. Okay.
Can you let me know what do you exactly want? Sir, can you let me know what do you exactly want to know in terms of reprint?
Reprint, suppose actually suppose to print the invoice, but suppose actually due to something actually misplaced, okay, or something happened, so we need to reprint that invoice. Then so that facility must be required in your system.
It will be there, sir. So anyways, we get a JSON back from the IRP, and then we convert it to a printable format such as a PDF. And once we have the copy of the PDF stored in a repository, we can always print it from there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, because the JSON, the IRP only gives back a JSON, which is not really a directly usable format. We have to convert it to a printable format to be more usable. So yeah, that will be available. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Bye.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. If there are any other questions, we are online for some more time. You can definitely let us know in the chat box.
Yeah.
We'll be more than happy to answer the same. Okay, so we would like to thank you, all of you, for sparing your valuable time to attend this webinar. We hope that the session was useful and beneficial to you, and we look forward to having you on board for our further webinars as well. We are still online for a few more moments, and if somebody has questions, they can stay back, and we'll be more than happy to answer the question. So, okay, we have a question: does the data will be available in GSTR1? Yes, sir. So the IRB automatically posts the data in Annexure 1 of the buyer and Annexure 2, sorry, Annexure 1 of the seller and Annexure 2 of the buyer. The IRP automatically does that. Srinivas, if you could go back to the architecture diagram.
Yes, all right.
Yes. So on the left hand side, if you see, so the seller can view in the Annexure 1. On the right side, bottom, if you see, buyer can view in the Annexure 2. So yes, these details will be automatically uploaded to the GST portal annexures. So the whole idea the government builds here is they want to reduce the manual interventions, try to automate the processes and go digital as much as they can. I hope that answers your question. Thank you, sir. Any other questions are most welcome. We are there online for some more time to answer the questions. I request the attendees who are still there to let us know in case of any questions or queries. Also, like I said before, we'll be sending you the link for this session so that you can have it for reference and discussion with your team. And post that, you can always get in touch with us for any further consultation. So thank all of you for your time, and I wish you a great day ahead. Please stay safe. Srinivas, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Tejas. And thank you, everyone, for attending the webinar. We'll be coming with more webinars in future. Let's connect on them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. We are still there online for another 2-3 minutes. You can let us know for any questions. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, all of you, for being there with us, and have a good day ahead. Thank you so much, Srinivas, for the wonderful session. You may conclude the same. Thank you.